Welcome to this week's vlog. This week I want to talk about DMs again. Not about DMs being a jerk, but basically about, how can we put it, lack of preparation. So this week's vlog is going to be entitled, Don't Be a Bad DM. And let's go put a precursor in there. I'm not talking about regular large campaigns, stuff like that. I'm talking more about things like encounters, lair assaults, special events, things of that nature. I see a lot of DMs. They'll come in, they'll sit down, they haven't bothered looking at the materials, and basically they start reading. It's pretty sloppy. They're clueless about what's going to happen. They haven't even bothered to figure out what minis they're going to need. If it's 4th edition for their combat, they haven't thought about tactics or anything else, and they end up just making a total mess out of the entire encounter. Now, this is why you should have a problem with that, and this is why you should strive not to do this. Encounters, lair assaults, stuff like that are very modular, one-shot deals. A lot of it is geared towards new players. I mean, you're trying to bring people into the game. You're representing the game. I guess that's the best way to put it. And you're trying to create an experience so that they want to come back. If you're not prepared, you just goober up the entire thing. You do a poor job playing the game. It's not going to be fun for everybody at the table. If you've got to sit there and read and look every 2 seconds, it's just going to look like a mess. And that's going to be someone's first impression, and it could be their last impression, and they won't be coming back again. If you're going to DM these type of events, my advice is take the time to get there early, or take the time to spend a half hour to an hour the day before, 2 days before, read and understand what your encounter is going to be about, so that when you sit down, you don't have just this big mess at the table. Personally, what I try to do, I get there an hour early and sit down. I'll read through. Right now we're doing a next encounter, but it's based off of the 4th edition encounter. So you have to be familiar with what's in the 4th edition book, and you have to be familiar with what they're doing with the next characters as far as the PCs, how they're going to behave. I mean, the attacks are going to be massively different compared to what the 4th edition attacks would be for the bad guys. And if you're not prepared, you're going to be in trouble, because if you're playing next, like right now, the spells, it'll give you a list of spells. If you're not familiar with all the spells, you're going to have to look them up so you know what to do, how to attack, how to go through this encounter to play against the characters. You don't want to seem as unknowledgeable, unprepared as to the game as the new people sitting at the table. You're supposed to be the expert. You're the one guiding them through this experience. If you're sitting there fumbling through the books, not prepared, you're trying to look at spells, you don't know what they do, because all the next thing does is give you a list of spells that perhaps a spellcaster has, or a list of attacks. If you're not familiar with them, then you're going to be the one sitting there fumbling through the pages. If you bring a computer, looking through the PDFs, and you're going to be very unprepared, unprofessional. You just should not be DMing if that's how you're going to prepare. What you do in your personal campaigns, we'll probably talk about that on a later vlog, but honestly, if you're going to be the person volunteering and committing to take the time to run encounters, lair assaults, any type of introductory campaign for new people, you should at least be committed enough to prepare before you go. If you don't do that, honestly, you're just a bad DM, and you're putting forth a bad image on the game. And you're not going to be the person bringing new players in. You're going to be the person driving them away, because they're going to be like, that sucked. I don't want to play again. That just totally sucked. The guy didn't know what he was doing. If that's what D&D is, it takes this long for, it just sucks. And you don't want to be that DM. So that's pretty much it for today. Just in the future, be sure that you take the time to prepare. Be a good DM. If you're going to commit to the entire experience. Don't just commit to sitting your butt in the chair 5 minutes before you get there and then running a really shoddy encounter. Commit to providing a good experience for these new players coming in. If you can't do that, generate a character, come sit down and play, and let somebody else who's willing to create a decent experience for the players do it, and you can then sit there and have fun being a player. You have to remember, being a DM is a commitment, both a time commitment and a commitment to the people sitting at the table. And if you're not willing to take that commitment on yourself, you shouldn't be taking that seat behind the screen. But that's it on this vlog. I want to also point out that if you go to rpggang.com, we did put up a challenge. It's going to be every Tuesday. RPG Nate, RPG Gem, and myself, we're challenging ourselves because we have this giant pile of minis. So we're going to paint at least one mini a week. We're challenging you, the viewers out there, to go ahead and also paint your minis. I know most of you, if you're like me, you've either got like a giant vampire pack sitting there or even some old minis sitting around, and you never seem to find the time to paint them. This is your wake-up call. Go ahead and paint those minis. Submit the pictures. Go to the site. Look at our Tuesday challenge. See what the requirements are. And submit pictures of your minis. We'll go ahead and have a contest of it every week. Bragging rights will be the prize for the weekly. And then on the quarterly, I'm working right now on some ideas for some really cool prizes for mini painters themselves. And you'll probably enjoy that. But each of our weekly winners on the weekly thing will be thrown into a big pile, and everybody will vote on the quarterly. And it'll just be fun, and hopefully it'll get you back into a hobby that you love, painting your miniatures. But again, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe, rate, and all that good stuff on YouTube, and take a look at the blog at rpggang.com. Read the articles, comment, and check in with the RSS feed. Thanks again. Bye.